This week on Hiring America, we visit a 3-day boot camp for veterans looking to use the technology skills they learned in the military to start their own company.
There is no question that the 3 days of Patriot Boot Camp connect you to people who've been there and done that.
How an Army intelligence officer became the chief coffee officer of his own successful coffee shop. And some tips from our experts for veterans looking to use their military benefits to get a degree.
Hiring America, the award-winning television job fair for American veterans. Connecting you with companies who know your value. Learn about employers who are actively hiring today and organizations that support veterans. Your future success starts right here on Hiring America.
Hiring America, presented by National University, a veteran-founded nonprofit offering tuition discounts for active duty service members and dependents. Learn more at nu.edu. Hiring America, produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served.
Hiring America recently visited Lehi, Utah, where the technology company MX opened its doors for a conference dedicated to helping veterans looking to create their own startup.
For me, Patriot Boot Camp combines two passions. It combines that service to the veteran community with my love of the startup world. I think there's nothing more dynamic and honestly no better way to have an impact on the world than building a great company. It's a big responsibility to build good companies, because there are plenty of companies out there that are not necessarily good, and that's a choice. And I think there's no one better than bringing this veteran community that is mission-driven to be those leaders for our economy and for our nation and globally as entrepreneurial leaders for the United States.
I am moving into my 4th year of business. Troopster is actually a nonprofit. We send care packages to troops deployed around the world. And I'm here at Patriot Boot Camp to learn how to grow a more sustainable business so that we can reach not just 7,000 or 10,000 troops, but we can reach the 200,000 who are constantly deployed or stationed overseas.
Cowboy Cricket Farms isn't exactly a tech business. We are somewhat tech-enabled. We make edible insect products out of crickets.
We call crickets the gateway bug because it'll get you into the hard stuff later.
The farming is very laborsome and takes a lot of time, and so we're finding ways to automate that through using technology.
When we came in the first time, Lori and I were just a few years into our business. We were really struggling with how we grow it beyond just a life support type of operation. So we were looking for a way to boost it, to grow it, and it really made us think outside the box. Now here we are this year where we'll do $1 million in revenue.
We start out, as we did today, with inspiring speeches from business owners that have grown literally to multi-billion companies. We share pitch workshops, so all the PBC entrepreneurs are able to practice their pitch. And then we roll into what we call our Patriot Mentor Program. We really take different aspects of your business and bring in specialist mentors for you to meet one-on-one with.
I often wondered about the name Patriot Boot Camp, because boot camp to me is a drill sergeant in your face screaming at you. But what I really think it is it's going back to fundamentals. It's going back to motivating you. It's going back to teaching you those core skills.
Well, veterans come to the table with a lot of basic skills that are really desirable in an entrepreneur. Resiliency, the ability to execute under pressure, the ability to walk into a situation, quickly assess it. A lot of them come in with technical background as well, and that really gives them a leg up on those on sort of the technical journey.
How can you break this down into the most simple thing possible to get started before you start paying a developer?
When I look at these veterans and I look at them having taken a big chunk of their life to give to our country and to protect us, to give us all the freedoms that we have, to not allow them to be able to make that smooth transition from this military world to this entrepreneurial world is something that we should all care about. And we're honestly honored to be a part of Patriot Boot Camp and be able to play a small role in helping them make that transition.
There's no question that the 3 days of Patriot Boot Camp connect you to people who've been there and done that. We had several entrepreneurs from the past who sold their companies for billions and billions of dollars, but they're not crowing about it. They're telling the entrepreneurs, here's what you can expect. It's going to be a long, hard journey, but here's my learnings. Here's the 15 things I wish I knew when I started my journey. And then it's the ability for them to pick the brains of these people who've been very, very successful.
You're able to meet a lot of people quickly, and there's an opportunity to sort of match what we bring to the table with what entrepreneurs are looking for. So the entrepreneurs have a chance to review who the mentors are and then sign up for these 30-minute sessions. And so it's a good way to make sure connections are happening.
Mentorship is one of the most critical elements to entrepreneurial success. A good mentor is basically a form of customized education that's helping you figure out what you're going to do to succeed.
In the military, you learn that you don't have all the answers. The only way you win is as a team, and you have to rely on those specialists that can help you win the fight. You know that these guys and gals have your back, that they understand you. You can ask questions that you wouldn't feel comfortable asking around other people.
Even though you don't have much time with anyone, you get to get a lot of opportunity for opinions. It's a great opportunity to just take all of that information, roll it up, and see if there's any commonalities. You're going to hear certain things time and time again. There's a pretty good chance you should listen to that.
It's fun, it's exhausting, it's energetic. You meet an awful lot of people in a short period of time. Sometimes that's a good thing, right? Sometimes you'd like the conversation to go on a little bit longer. And that's the beauty of that 3-day format, right? If you need to finish it up later, the mentors make sure that they're around, and during the 3 days, we'll get a little bit more time with them.
On Friday night and Saturday night, we have our networking receptions, and this is a time for our entrepreneurs, mentors, and speakers to relax a little bit, grab a beverage and some food, and just connect casually. Sometimes that's the best way to make a connection for your company.
If you're an entrepreneur, networking is key to your success. How are others going to know about you, about your organization, if you're not out there and actively engaging in other businesses? And I can say that I'm very excited for the networking opportunities of Patriot Boot Camp, especially the axe throwing event that's coming up.
It's just a lot of fun. People work hard during the Patriot Boot Camp, and so in the evening it's a chance to let off some steam and just continue the networking on a more social basis.
I think it's actually probably the most important part of the whole process. This is the one time that I can go and talk with other veteran entrepreneurs and unwind a little bit, figure out what's going on, and maybe turn off the business mind for a few minutes.
Patriot Boot Camp is available to any veteran, active duty, or military spouse person that is interested in entrepreneurship. They can apply. It's a free program. That said, it's not that they're not investing, because they're investing with their time. We are able to support all of these programs and provide them based on our partners and sponsors. They are the ones that believe in this mission and believe in the impact that these veteran and military spouse entrepreneurs will create, and that's why they support Patriot Boot Camp.
When you go to boot camp, you're new to the military and you sort of join the tribe, so to speak. So I think of Patriot Boot Camp as more joining that tribe of veteran and military spouse entrepreneurs.
Patriot Boot Camp is a very special organization, mostly because they just care so much. Everything's free. It's all about helping veteran entrepreneurs and military spouses to fulfill their business needs.
Coming up on Hiring America, how an Army intelligence officer learned to love the daily grind of civilian life.
When a veteran comes to me and asks me for tips on how to start the process when they're transitioning from getting out of the service and going to civilian life, one of the first things I always tell them is to try to get a copy of their official transcripts for all the schools that they've attended. And that way they can have them sealed and on file, because if they have less than 60 accredited hours completed, then they're going to have to request their high school transcript as well. If not, without the high school transcript, that could delay their enrollment process. When they're setting up their e-benefits account, It's really important to them to answer everything as best they can and as honestly as they can, even if they're not sure where they're going to end up living, because that starts the process for them applying for their VA educational benefits. Once they've applied for it online on the website, we recommend that they take a screenshot, and that at least that way they have that in their phones, or they can save their confirmation email, and they can use those to start the process at whatever school they decide to go to.
After a long career as an Army intelligence officer, Carl Churchill decided to start a business that would allow him to continue serving his community, while also providing a taste of home for troops still in the field.
When I was on active duty, drank a lot of coffee, especially during deployments. I mean, when you're getting ready to roll outside the wire, you're sitting down as a team, you're drinking coffee, you're going over the plan. You know, it's a bonding experience for the tribe, but it was always terrible coffee. So over time, I started to really gain an appreciation for good coffee. We were assigned to Europe. We were living in Germany, and when I wasn't deployed, we would go explore, and we started to understand and appreciate cafe culture. We became sort of coffee snobs as time went on. Oh yeah, that's delicious. Really good. My brother-in-law had just won Roaster of the Year the previous year, and I was like, Josh's coffee is so good. I've got this crazy idea. Why don't we get Josh to roast for us? We'll start an online coffee company, ship it to people's homes. We can do it right out of the basement. And let's just we'll start up a coffee company and do that. We cashed in our life savings, put it all on the table, started it. After about 6 years of doing online, we would take coffee to different events, or we would go skiing with friends and bring a thermos of coffee, and they'd tell us, your coffee is so good, you really ought to open a coffee shop. And when this space opened up, we decided, let's open a coffee shop, let's ship out the back. I'll quit my daytime jobs, you know, so that we can do this full time. And that's what we did. 2 years ago, we opened this up, and our online has grown, our wholesale has grown, and our coffee shop has grown as well. We serve what we call an OG macchiato, because it's what the OGs in Italy would drink. You know, these old men dressed to the nines would go out, and we would sit and drink coffee with them. And one of the things that they told us about was an affogato. So an affogato is gelato with espresso over the top. And so here we call it an alfagato. So we have an alfagato that's to die for. You really taste that signature smooth taste from Alpha Coffee. People tell us all the time, like, I can't drink other coffee anymore. Your coffee is so smooth, it's not bitter. Oh, cool.
Yes, this is very delicious.
That's what makes us smile, you know? It's knowing that we're providing that kind of experience for our customers. When we wanted to start the company, we said, let's offer really good premium coffee that people can appreciate the quality of. And for every order we ship out, let's send the equivalent of a cup of coffee to deployed troops. Because I always drank bad coffee. We wanted to give back and let them have that taste of home, really good quality coffee. When we send the coffee out, we get pictures from the troops with the coffee. A lot of the troops send emails that make my wife cry, you know? They're like, you have no idea what this means to us, what it's like to sit down as a team and enjoy this together. One day I saw a couple walk in and they ordered their coffee, and then they walked over and they were looking at the Coffee for Troops wall. And it was a little slow that morning, so I thought, hey, I'll walk out and talk to them. So I walked over and I said, hey, you know, are you guys vets? And they said, yeah, actually, that's a picture of me right there when I was deployed to Afghanistan. The guy said that, and the wife said, yeah, and that's a picture of me in the Horn of Africa. We were deployed at the same time, and you sent coffee to both of us. And I said, that is so awesome, you know. I said, well, what are you guys doing in Salt Lake? And they said, well, we're in the Air Force, and we're stationed down in Las Vegas, and we're headed up to do an Ironman competition, and we wanted to stop at Alpha on the way to personally, thank you and to see the operation and to pick up some more coffee. People ask me all the time, like, what's it like to be a small business owner? And my response is, Alpha Coffee is a labor of love with heavy emphasis on the labor. So if you're transitioning out of the military, you are built for this. You know, you've got discipline, you've got a work ethic, you know how to push hard and make things happen. So that's what we did when we were in the military. You were a small team that had a mission, you had an objective, and you just achieved that objective. One of the sayings we have at Alpha is that we win as a team. And we really believe that, and that's how we execute our mission every day.
I'm a veteran. My victory was admitting I had PTSD and getting help.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I no longer see it as a weakness, but as a sign of strength. I call it post-traumatic growth.
DAV provides a lifetime of support, helping veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I am a veteran. I lost both legs in Vietnam.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans so they can reach victories great and small.
My victory was getting my benefits and a good education.
I'm a veteran. When I got out, I felt like nowhere was safe. My victory was finding the help I needed.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
Thanks to DAV, now I feel like I'm human again.
Help support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
What's really enticing for a big corporation or a big company in regards to an entrepreneur in general, an early stage entrepreneur, is they're attacking really tough, innovative problems. They have no background, they have no legacy systems, they can attack them in very unique ways.
The first thing is to knock on the right door. All right, make sure you either get to a corporate development department or get to someone whose job it is to actually think about the new ideas and the new products that the company needs to bring to the market. And then you just have to be persistent and get in front of them. Be respectful of their time in that first couple minutes. Make sure you get that business plan out. But be respectful, knock on that door multiple times, and you'll get in.
Is there something that an entrepreneur or something that a small business, some need that they can fulfill, instead of us developing it internally, can we go externally and fulfill that need? And we do that a lot with a lot of companies.
Can they articulate clearly, this is a need, it's a pressing need, and what we do solves that need? That's where I know we've got a really great value creation. If they can't pair those two, then it's hard to really get behind or excited about what they're doing.
You have to have that feedback. You have to have confidence in that individual being able to execute, because it's your, as a corporate employee hiring that person, it's your reputation that's on the line. So you need to make sure that person can execute and what they say they can execute.
Thanks for watching. Remember, you can always find links to more information about our stories at hiringamerica.com or reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We want to hear your questions and comments. Join us again next week right here on Hiring America.
Hiring America, presented by National University, a veteran-founded nonprofit offering tuition discounts for active duty service members and dependents. Learn more at nu.edu. Hiring America, produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served. This program is made possible by the generous support of the following companies. Promotional consideration provided by JetBlue, a proud employer of those who served.